Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu opposes any form of Palestinian sovereignty in post-war Gaza, his office said Saturday, appearing to rebuff U.S. President Joe Biden's suggestion that creative solutions could bridge wide gaps between the leader's views on Palestinian statehood. In a sign of the pressures Netanyahu's government faces at home and abroad, a protest outside the Prime Minister's home grew as people joined a group representing families of the more than 100 remaining hostages held by Hamas and other militant groups. The families want the government to take bold steps to free the hostages, fearing that Israel's military activity in Gaza further endangers their lives. Netanyahu is also under heat to appease members of his right-wing ruling coalition by intensifying the war against Hamas, which governs Gaza, while contending with calls for restraint from the United States, its closest ally. The statement from the Prime Minister's office said Netanyahu made clear Friday in his first conversation with Biden in nearly a month that his position on a post-war Gaza hasn't changed. Netanyahu reiterated that Israel must retain security control over the territory after Hamas is destroyed, a requirement that contradicts the demand for Palestinian sovereignty, the statement said. Discussing his administration's position, Biden said Friday that there are a number of types of two-state solutions. There are a number of countries that are members of the UN that are still not have their own militaries. Asked if a two-state solution was impossible with Netanyahu in office, Biden replied, "No, it's not." On Saturday, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said, "The refusal to accept the two-state solution for Israelis and Palestinians, and the denial of the right to statehood for the Palestinian people, are unacceptable." Speaking in Uganda, he said the refusal would indefinitely prolong the conflict. Netanyahu has said Israel must fight until it achieves complete victory, and Hamas no longer poses a threat but has not outlined how this will be accomplished. But a member of Israel's war cabinet, former Israeli Army Chief Gadi Eisenkot, has called a ceasefire the only way to secure the hostages' release, a comment that implied criticism of Israel's current strategy. Critics have accused Netanyahu of preventing a cabinet-level debate about a post-war scenario for Gaza. They say he is stalling to prevent conflict within his coalition. Israel launched its war against Hamas after the militant group's unprecedented October 7 attack that killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, in Israel and saw about 250 others taken hostage. Health authorities in Hamas-ruled Gaza say Israel's offensive has killed nearly 25,000 Palestinians, most of them women and children. The offensive, one of the most destructive military campaigns in recent history, has pulverized much of the territory and displaced more than 80% of its population of 2.